Hi everyone. So basically, the webinar, as it is named by, that is what is the role of a HR. So for bettering the performance of the company, how HR basically can contribute towards the company's growth. That's most important for nowadays HR, because HR is no longer merely a glorified clerk, or rather merely an administrator. So if we go by the subject of the webinar today, so basically we'll be discussing how HR can enhance business effectiveness or performance through employee management. Now, if we see uh, the HR, first, who is HR? HR is basically in nutshell the combination of skill, knowledge, abilities, competencies of all the people in the organization. And those who manages, or the department which manages the total skill, knowledge, abilities of all the organization is called as HR department. So since HR is managing the employee skill, knowledge, abilities, so therefore organization is nothing but a combination of few people driving towards a common goal. So this is organization. Organization has the entity, that's the people. So irrespective of what asset, what manufacturing units, what buildings a company has, that doesn't matter. Matters how many people are there to manage it. And HR is there, those who are managing the company's business, how to manage them by linking business performance enhancement. So therefore, few departments are there as an organizational design or structure where HR is also involved. So now the point is, in today's scenario, the role of HR has become strategic rather than mere the order execution. So the point is, what is that strategic role in business of HR? What does it mean? So basically, when I do take the classes of Word, one of my simple formula is, you don't need to look at the slides. Whatever I'm saying, that's important. So here also, because I am having 25 years of experience across 6 countries, so this material is made from my experience, how the shifting has happened, how from an administrative task like payroll management, like for an example, attendance taking, like any other normal clerical job, how HR has shifted themselves towards strategic alignment with the business. That's the point of discussion. And here comes a new word, though nowadays it is not a new word, business partnering. So basically, how HR is taking a business partnering role, that's important towards the strategic movement of HR. How does it include? How HR, through its strategic role, can help in business performance effectiveness? First comes talent management. Now, who are the talent? Talent are those whose knowledge, skill, abilities are not easily available in the market. Means within all the employees of the organization, there are bunch of people who possesses some special skills, some special abilities, and thus their values are high, and those knowledges and skills are not easily available. That is, there is a scarcity, and therefore they are called as talent. So HR strategic role is managing those who are talent and those who are normal human resources. So first, HR need to conceptualize the idea that all talents are human resources, but all human resources are not talent. So there are two parts of the employee segment. One is talent and one is normal human resources. But can HR ignore those who are normal human resources? No, because they are also important. While talents are important for specific skill, specific knowledge, specific abilities, other human resources are also needed for my execution, business execution. So HR involves themselves over here as a business partner, talent management, normal human resource management, and how? By strategic planning. That is also an important. Therefore, it's important that through strategic planning, HR can manage the talent and the other employees. And while managing the alignment of company goal, talent's individual goal, departmental goal, these are must be aligned. So it is called as cascading effect. If the organizational vision is clear, it helps HR to make the strategy to drive the business towards excellence based on the vision. So it's sort of a pyramid structure, cascading effect, which starts with basically the vision of the organization, then the strategy, then the objectives, why the vision is. And gradually it percolates with my org structure, my policies, my people practices, KRA KPI defining, employee engagement, employee performance monitoring, and of course, employee hiring. So the goal, that is vision, aligning with HR's strategic role as a business partner are now evolving, and in future, HR will only have this strategic business partnering role because other things can have a chance to get outsourced. And thus, what perhaps one of the institute or one of the educational body in the world I have seen, they are always bringing how people can come out from their comfort zone, because today's job could be redundant, tomorrow is important. So what is always focusing to make the participants ready, not only for today, also for tomorrow. So here, another example today, that is how HR can take a strategic role towards business excellence. So while talent management through strategic planning, goal alignment at the base, so HR has to be shifted from its regular day-to-day task, that is administration, to strategic. That's the key point. So therefore, effective employee management, if HR is able to do so, which is apart from normal job, that is hiring, payroll, these are fine. But how can we make, as an HR, create an impact, positive impact toward business performance? That's important. So HR is always in the organization, is a middle point or the center of excellence, or sometimes can be the DNA, which starts from a process of strategic planning, human resource planning, accordingly talent acquisition, that is where recruitment and selection are the part. Moving forward, their selection, orientation, and also they are coaching, they are mentoring, learning, and monitoring the performance towards their development so that employee can develop their career in the company, and also the performance monitoring towards reward and the consequences. So thus, HR is not only for hiring, firing, or payroll. HR starts with the strategic goal alignment with strategic human resource planning, and continuously then a process that is talent acquisition, engagement, succession planning, again performance monitoring, and finally going back again to the planning. So it's a cycle always HR, where HR is a center point. And thus, if we see the key role or the core HR functions which has a business impact, there are basically three things. There are three things. One is by talent acquisition. HR's job is not ended on hiring the right people. We always, being trapped as an HR, look for the best fit. But HR, if HR needs to create a business impact, HR has, instead of best fit, HR would look for the right fit. So remember, there are, if we can core function, 4 pillars: talent acquisition, performance management, employee engagement, and the learning. These 4 are basically core HR functions, which can be called as a line function, which can create revenue impact positively of the positive revenue impact of the business. Now the talent acquisition. Basically, talent acquisition comprising of 2 things: recruitment and selection. Those who are wants to ask any question, we can have so. So it will impact my flow of saying. So the talent acquisition involves 2 things. One is recruitment, one is by selection. Recruitment refers to the acquiring of the people, while selection talking about the identifying the right people for the right job. So recruitment can be external always, selection can be internal. Suppose I am not getting someone from externally through recruiting someone. I cannot recruit someone for heading my learning team. So I can identify someone within the organization who can be the right fit for heading the learning division. So this is selection. So recruitment and selection. Selection is my strategic part. Recruitment is my execution part. So if we talk about core HR function, tomorrow there will be a scenario, recruitment can be outsourced, selection is strategic part, could be with HR. Thus, HR can create business impact. How? By identifying the right assessment for the right fit. Say for an example, what are the assessments? Like job knowledge test. I cannot, as an HR, I cannot ask a CEO to give the job knowledge test because he's a proven or she is a proven figure in the industry. So I can have psychometric test or dialogue or interactions. But for junior level, I can easily implement job knowledge test. So this assessment device making program of selection process is one of the core strategic HR function which represents the right fit. And if the right fit is there, positive business impact has to happen. Similarly, if the wrong fit is there, goal alignment will not be appropriate, and accordingly company performance will be down, because company performance means actually the employee performances. And thus talent acquisition, specifically focusing on the selection, which is a strategic movement, could be one of the HR role to focus on if they really want to create positive business impact. Next, once the right fit is being put, it's equally important for HR to retain them. And thus one of the KPI for entire talent acquisition can be measured by one only KPI. What is the attrition rate of new joinees? It can be fixed by 5%. If it is 5%, could be because of retain 5% attrition, could be because of my company's culture, boss, whatever. If it is more than 5%, hypothetically, that means there is a gap in the recruitment or selection process. So here comes about performance management, identifying the right KPI, how right KPI can be derived, aligning the business goal with the KPI of the employee. Like entire recruitment can be measured by one KPI. Entire learning can be measured by one KPI. How many internal vacancies have been filled? How many mid-level vacancies have been filled up by internal promotion? That will give the impact of ROI of the training. Traditional method of calculating ROI nowadays is redundant. People want management or the company owner or the board of directors who like to see visible impact, intangible impact is having mere value rather than the tangible impact. So I can prove that I have given 50 people a learning process, and thus 10 middle-level vacancies have been filled up by promoting them. That means visible impact of my learning. But how can I do so? By having proper KPI aligning with goals, business objectives. Therefore, in order to managing the KPIs for a performance, managing their performance, reviewing their performance, first and foremost important is how I engage my employees. Again, people are getting trapped. Employee engagement means birthday celebration, picnics. Not at all. It could be maybe 5% of engagement. Employee engagement starts with job description, followed by KRA, followed by KPI, and the review mechanism, which actually giving them the satisfaction and motivation. So satisfaction plus motivation would lead to proper engagement, would lead to higher retention, would lead to lower cost, would lead to higher business impact. But employee engagement through motivation, how can it be done? People looks for rewards, which can be financially measured, which can be financially not measured, but has a visual impact, that is learning, recognition. This cannot be easily financed. So thus, learning process has also become a core function towards monitoring, developing, engaging, satisfying, motivating of the right fit, those we have selected through a proper performance management system, having proper KPIs, which are smart KPIs, that is specific SMART, specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, realistic and time bound. So these are 4 core functions through which HR can create a real positive business impact. And this is how we can do it. And days are very near. This will become the HR's main KPI and the main lead indicator through which HR's performance will also be measured. And thus, the role of HR is significant nowadays. So how recruitment can become the business, how recruitment can help in making the business growth? Identifying the critical position. So criticality and urgency. These are the two pillars for identifying the right fit. Criticality and urgency. High critical, high urgent, immediate hiring. High critical, high urgent, more retention tactics. Low critical, low urgency can be a plan in future. But moderate critical, moderate urgency, again, let us have the focus towards learning. Thus, by building the culture of strategic hiring with a focus towards fostering innovation and a long-term success of my hiring process, my selection and recruitment process can lead to a business growth. So there is a famous case study for a Google. So Google has basically made an experiment on their talent acquisition process. My humble request to all of you, do not pass on the message when so it distracts my mind, because I'm saying from my experience. So do not pass on any messages. Let it be for you after the session, please. So if we see the talent acquisition approach of Google, what Google did actually, Google focused on the cognitive ability. First, they have taken only 2 parameters for their hiring process, which reflects the competency-based hiring. Cognitive ability and culturally fit, 2 parameters. And that would become a famous to that Google. Today we can see from a place in a garage how they have evolved. So here comes HR's role in 2 sectors. One could be first mover. Google as a search engine are not the first mover. They started search engine much later. Before that, Yahoo and other messengers are there. Google become rather fast mover, FAST. So nowadays, HR will focus how fast, not FIRST, how fast can business be moved towards diversity. So HR role towards talent acquisition to be focused on that. And Google is a classic example. They came late, but become fast, FAST. So they are the first mover rather than the first mover. So thus, innovation always help us. And this innovation of focusing on cognitive ability and cultural fit were the main focus. And if we can see the other things, employee engagement, a simple data if we can take, Gallup is one of the employee engagement driver. They are the pioneer on employee engagement. So Gallup said the engagement metrics could be how employees are engaged by 12 questions can be developed. So Gallup has said very recently, highly engaged employees are 21% more productive and having 41% lower absenteeism. Now here, employee engagement, remember, there are 3 kinds of people in the organization. Actively engaged means they are doing beyond their KPIs. Engaged, those who are doing what they are being told. And finally, disengaged, those who are not only doing their jobs, but also making a resistance on others to do their job as well. So through employee engagement process, we can identify who are actively engaged beyond KPIs. They are my successor. Who can be engaged? They are in my enigma. There is a 9-box tool which can be used for, thank you, for which can be used for succession planning. So we can identify who are engaged and actually who are disengaged. So they can face the consequences. But if we identify at least 50% score in first year, the result is obvious. More productivity will be 21% higher. And productivity higher means business goal or business performance hiring. So if business performance can be enhanced, obviously the productivity is higher. And one way is employee engagement. At the same pace, if we go by a case study, Southwest Airlines is a famous case study. They given stress on employee empowerment, employee recognition, may not be financially. They simply did what? If somebody does a good thing, they represent that employee across all the employees. They gave a token. They generally give a token memento for recognizing someone's efforts. They're empowering people to take the decision, may be wrong. They're empowering people to take the decision to satisfy the customer satisfaction. And thus, Southwest Airlines have become more employee-centric rather than employer-centric. So the engaged employees always lead to have the better business outcomes, and thus HR role is how to engage the employee. And finally, continuous learning. Again, learning is we always again be trapped by not identifying what is training, what is learning. Training is short-term skill gap program. Learning is a continuous process towards the development of an individual. If individual develops through learning, productivity will be higher. Upskilled employees number will be higher. And obviously, data says the 20% higher profit margin is obvious. And thus, but learning is not one time or 2 times or 3 times. It's a continuous process. So thus, learning and development has to be my continuous process of HR if HR really wants to take important part for business growth. Thus, let us come out from the idea HR is not for CV sourcing or payroll management. HR is also there for leadership development, upskilling, and thus towards focus of at least 24% higher profit margins in general. So remember, again, for case study, if we take Amazon's case study, $700 million case study they have spent for upskilling. As a result, we can now see for our online retail bookseller, they are now taking us to the space. So this is how proven fact is there by using the technology, leveraging the technology with cognitive ability. How can HR be agile with the business goal, thus become one of the top company in the relevant sector? Example, Amazon. And finally, performance management. unless there is a clear goal which are being monitored. And nowadays, our review mechanism has been changed. Like continuous learning, any performance management system by HR, if they want to have the business success, has to be feedback mechanism which is continuous. Performance management system must be delinked with the increment, rather linked with employee development through continuous feedback, making IDPs, individual development plan. If individual develops, more productivity, more business revenue, and thus HR would become a very critical role towards business success. Adobe, if we see the case study, they have shifted entirely their PMS into continuous feedback system, weekly feedback. As a result, 30% reduction they have found in voluntary turnover, that is attrition. They have seen the increase in the employee engagement. So here lies the new role of HR: selection, performance management, engagement, monitoring, continuous learning, which can gives us real success. So that was the thing I thought to share with you, how HR can come up and take away. Thank you so much. I would now request Mr. Zaidi to take over.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Hope everybody enjoyed the session. And really, very well explained and well informative session indeed. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So if you permit, I have to,
Yes,
I have
please,
another
please.
appointment. Thank you.
Please.
All of you take good care. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so dear delegates, thank you very much and most welcome to the webinar. And really, I'm sure that you have enjoyed the entire session of Mr. Sumit Bhattacharya. Due to some sudden issues with Mr. Bhattacharya for an appointment with the physicians, so he needs to leave the session. And I will be there for next couple of minutes with some of the very, insightful discussions with you as well. So we will have a little bit of interaction and how HR can give some inputs. What are the ways to make the people become a performer? So we will talk on this for the next around 20 minutes time. So before going to start my presentation, I would like to share a couple of things from the World Academy, the host of today's program. You know, World Academy is one of the very prominent professional certification and education institute in the world. And nowadays it's working. It has expanded areas in around 60 plus countries. So the motto of World Academy is shaping expertise, nurturing ambitions, and elevate your potential. So as Mr. Sumit rightly pointed, that World Academy is always beside the professional for their global advancement in their career. So we are ISO certified organization, and these are our global affiliation of World Academy. You can see we are offering programs in 61 countries nowadays. We are the member of American Accreditation Association, member of approved Center by Cambridge Academy of Professional, Center by Prof. 𝒂 approved Center by Board of HR Certification. We are the provider of HRCI, HRM, and TD. We have affiliation with Accredited Institute by Professional International Accreditation Council, Singapore. We are the SHRM Academically Aligned Institute. That is very important recognition for World Academy. You know, majority of us here today from HR background, you know that SHRM is one of the very pioneer in the HR field, Society for Human Resource Association in US. So they used to recognize 2,000 plus universities as their academic partner. The university which are offering programs, the postgrad programs, aligning with the certification of SHRM, they recognize them as an academically aligned institute. And fortunately, World Academy is one of the, I should say, it is the one and only institute. It is not the university, it is an institute. And this institute is recognized by SHRM as academically aligned institute for the post-graduation diploma in human resource management, PGDHRM course of World Academy. So the course, postgraduate diploma in human resource management, presented by World Academy, is that much credible course. And not only the SHRM, but also HRCI gave the recognition as academic alignment, the curriculum alignment with HRCI SPHRI program. SPHRI? SPHRI is the Senior Professionals Program by HRCI USA. So that institute also recognized that the postgraduate diploma in human resource management by World Academy, it has the similar kind of curriculum alignment. That's why they also recognized us as curriculum alignment for this program. We are also member for CPT Certification Service and partner of Singapore Training and Development Association and some couple of other organizations as well. So our coming programs, as I told earlier, that this is the program, postgraduate diploma in human resource management. And here you can see the two stamp. That is the curriculum alignment of HRCI with SPHRI, and that is the academically aligned institute or academically aligned program by SHRM. So in your certificate, this two stamp will be there. Now you can imagine the value of the program in the global world. So across the globe, you will find the value for this program because of this two stamp. The very important and very pioneer institute in HR field, the SHRM and HRCI both recognize that this course curriculum is aligned with their curriculum. And not only this, SHRM also recognized this program in the level of master's program. So that's really very credible course, and the course is going to be started from 18 October. I mean tomorrow itself. So tomorrow the orientation will be held tomorrow. So if anyone is interested still, you can join the program. Of course, this program is only for the Bangladeshi citizen. So for the foreign people, the self-paced version is available. But this is a class-based program. So the class-based program will be only for the Bangladeshi citizen. There will be 48 class, 9 months duration. The class time is 4 to 7 p.m. Bangladesh time in every Friday. So it's a very convenient time. And then class will be held through online Zoom apps, right? So you can enroll for this course if you are interested. Apart from these, there are some couple of programs as well, which is Bangladesh Labor Law, Professional Certificate in Bangladesh Labor Law, starting from tomorrow itself. That is also a live online class based, and the resource person is for this course is Mr. Jafrul Hassan Sharif. And also you will find the Learning and Development Professional CLDP, Certified Learning and Development Professional, accredited by Singapore Training and Development Association. That is also a live session, and also self-paced is available. Another program is Postgraduate Diploma in Occupational Safety and Health. So this course will be starting from 19th of October. And this course is also recognized by OSHA Association in UK and a certification from Prof. Qual UK. And then ISO 9001 Lead Auditor Certification Program that will be starting from tomorrow, day after tomorrow. And Certified Result-Based Monitoring and Evaluation Specialist starting from 20th of October. And Anti-Money Laundering Specialist starting from 26th of October. So these are the couple of live programs in October. And in November, we do have a couple of programs. One of the very prominent program is Certified HR Generalist. Those who are working in the middle age of HR, they can join this program. There are 10 sessions, 12 modules, 4 months duration. And you will get a complete handbook after the successful completion of this program. That is certified HR generalist starting from 15th November. Certified project management specialist also starting from 16th November. Then certified internal auditor starting from 17th November. And another very important program, certified OKR professional, objective and key result. That is the updated version of KPI as well. So that is a good program for sure. If anyone is interested, you can contact with World Academy for this enrollment. This program will be starting from 22nd of November. And another finance program, financial risk manager, starting from 23rd November, and logistics and supply chain management, which will be starting from 24th of November. So that's about the upcoming program details for World Academy. Now I'm going to share with you a couple of slides for for your understanding. Let me share my screen once again. A couple of slides I'll be sharing. The topic itself, enhancing business performance through effective employee management. So already Mr. Sumit Bhattacharya discussed so many things. Just some ideas I'm giving. High performance management model. What does it mean? What is high performance then? And what are the contents? What are the focused areas for high performance? It should take innovation, and superior customer service, performance. When it comes, the achievement, when you achieve the result, that is called performance. How can you achieve the result? You need to satisfy your stakeholders. That means the superior customer service is very important. And then the employee commitment. How can you do that? If there is no commitment from employee sides, then the performance management will be very low. So that is a very core principle of performance is employee commitment, because at the end, employee performs. And what are the HR practices you need? Rigorous recruitment and selection procedure. Why? As Mr. Sumit showed you that the Google, what was their strategy? How they become very faster? How they could become very sustainable? By using a very, very rigorous recruitment and selection process or procedures. So if you feel that your recruitment and selection procedure is perfect, is very much comprehensive, of course, your organizations will do better. No doubt here. And the next one is extensive training and development or learning and development. You need to develop your people. Without this, no way. Performance is very much connected with the learning. Without learning, if it is even performance, it is not a sustainable performance. Without learning, you can perform luckily, but luck may not favor you all the times. So the sustainable performance, if I'm talking about, of course, learning and development should be connected. And then incentive pay and performance management system. Pay for performance, because at the end, why employees are working? Of course, recognition, but the payment is also an important issue for them. It's a motivational factor for the employees as well. So you need to have these elements to make a high performance in the organization. So the model contains the cycle, high performance management cycle, greater satisfaction, greater motivation, employee commitment. So if you can start from here, greater motivation, employee commitment, better performance, new strategies, excellent HR practices. Or even if you can start from here, new strategies, excellent HR practice, it can satisfy, it can motivate, it can ensure the commitment, and it can assure the better performance. So in either way, it's nowhere it is being stopped. It's a continuous process. Again, you need to start with this one. Again, you need to develop the new strategies, etc., etc. So everywhere, It's a continuous process. There is no end point or start point. And it's not only to know about the high performance model, you need to know about the low performance model as well. That is very important. That is very important. Because why? You need to introduce the high performance model as well as reduce the low performance model. Eliminate the low performance model. So what is low performance model then? Negative pressure on pay, advancement, equipment, supervision, communication. You see here 5 things I've mentioned. Negative pressure, negative mindset of the people, negative thought about the people, negative result towards the people. On which element? Pay. Advancement of the career. Equipment, the tools. Supervision. And of course, the communication. If it is there, what is the employee response? Low morale, lower motivation, tension or stress. So there is the input from the organization, and that is the employee response or employee behavioral pattern. And that is the outcome, withdrawal behavior. What is that withdrawal behavior? Increase the turnover, increase accidents, increase absenteeism, increase errors, decrease the productivity, decrease the customer service. That is the withdrawal behavior from employee sides. And the ultimate result, the business result, low profits, high costs, low market share. Now you can see, very interesting model, of course. I'm sure maybe, very rare people have heard about this low performance management cycle. And we should be very much concerned about this. Very much concerned about this. And what is the main point to be noted? This one, number 1 point. This is the main root cause. The root cause. So we need to be very, very careful while we are developing our pay model, our pay structure, and also, is there any opportunity for the advancement of the career? Then what are the tools we're using? What are the supervisional modalities we're using? And what is the communication pattern? Right? The characteristics of HR practices that makes an impact on performance. What are the HR practices which can what can make the impact? Number 1, integrated with business needs. Have you done this? Have, as HR professional, how we thought is business needs in our consideration or not? If not, it cannot affect on the performance positively. So integrated with business needs should specify how it meets those needs. Whatever the HR practice you do, whatever the HR initiatives you have taken, it must be connected with the business needs, and it should specify how it meets those needs. Should add value in business goal. What is the business goal? Business goal is profit, is revenue, is cost. These are the business goals. Even though customer satisfaction as well, it could be. But if you set your goal of HR department is turnover rate or reporting timeline, absenteeism, these that, without connecting with the business goal, no, you will no longer be available. So should add value in the business goal, understood and accepted by top management, line managers, as well as staff. So you need to be accepted by the top management, easy to comprehend by line management, and supported by top management as well. Should meet the success criteria which already been decided. So these are the characteristics Now you can imagine or you can evaluate whether your HR practices contains this type of characteristics or not. If not, you need to improve. And that is a very much impact way, how it impacts. So job design is an HR practice, how it impacts and how it is impacting to the business goal. I'm not going through this one. Let's focus on these three models. Appropriate HR strategic policies. How can you do that? The first model, 4-task model. Number 1, manage employee assignment and opportunities. Manage employee assignments opportunities. Then manage employee competencies. Then manage employee behavior. Then manage employee motivation. So 4 things you need to manage. Number 1, assignment and opportunities. The number of people. Number 2, competent people. Number 3, they should behave positively. Number 4, they should be motivated. If you can connect these four tasks by Skoll and Jackson and Storer, then you can have a strategic HR presence in the organization. High performance model. Number 1, management is clear about what new methods. You need to be very much clear about the methods. It sets goal. There should be a goal. A decision-making power. You need to empower people. Develop learning organization. Everywhere there will be learning focused. And processes are aligned with the organizational objectives. So these are the 5 things to make a high-performance model. And high involvement model, online work teams, offline employee involvement, job rotation, suggestion program, and decentralization of quality efforts. These 5 things can ensure the high involvement model. The 4 issues you need to concentrate, you need to consider, right? For what? For HR practices improving the business performance. So what are the 4 things? Number 1, organizational context. Number 2, view of top management. Number 3, competence of HR specialists. And number 4, attitude and behavior of line manager. So these are the 4 factors which highly affect towards the HR practices which can improve the business performance. So under organizational context, what are the things? An appropriate organizational culture is required. Core values. Do you have values or beliefs or not? The sector and economic climate in which organization operates. Identification of priority HR areas that assist in delivering business objective. You can see you need to identify and prioritize which HR areas, those which can deliver the business objective. Then employing high proportion of skilled, committed, and knowledge workers. These are the context. Then view of top management, appreciating significance and potential of HR practice. Top management should appreciate. Enlightening those who do not appreciate the same. And incorporating the HR practice in business objective. Very important, last one. Incorporating HR practice in the business objective. And what are the competence? There should be some competences among the HR people. And the last one is attitude and behavior. Support of line manager. Line manager should support. It has to be owned, earned, and fostered. It is not being given. It has to be earned. And involvement of line managers in decision making. They need to be involved. Formulating HR strategy, how can you do? Decide who is to be involved, define business strategy, analyzing the context, identifying the business needs, identify the key HR issues directly affecting the business objectives, and some other things as well. I'm not going through detail. So up to this, I'm not going for details for the last slides.